This video is going to be on sculpting a surreal self-portrait, and this is presented at McMurray University by Kathie Walker-Millar, Professor of Art, edited and demonstrated by Jessica Gryder, who will receive her BFA this May 2020. Now, this is the sketch that Jessica has to work from. She's on the swim team, so you'll see a diver diving into her head at the top, and that will be the surreal aspect of it. We will start by forming slabs, and we are not going to be using the slab roller like we would in a normal class setting. Jessica is slapping the clay down to start thinning it and lengthen it, and then she'll be using, in our case, a rolling pin, but remember that a round bottle like a wine bottle will work sufficiently also. You can also beat out any frustrations you have of being sequestered at home. You can use a pillowcase or an old sheet if you're at home. Here we're using some scraps of canvas in the studio. And now Jessica's going to use her rolling pin to start evening out the slabs. You can also continue slapping them on the tabletop or floor. If you don't have a sturdy table, use the floor. And she is primarily rolling it lengthwise because she wants to have long, she's going to be making long coils of clay. Jessica is leaving the slab thick, and now she's using a yardstick as a straight edge, and she's going to cut strips of clay that are the thickness of the yardstick, about an inch. Jessica has cut strips of clay. She's going to cut the end off where the clay's not quite as thick as the rest, so that her strips of clay will have an equal thickness to them. And now she's cutting the ends off the other end so that her strips of clay are going to be equal. These we're going to use just like you would use coils of clay that you make by hand or the extruder. Now Jessica is going to take the strips and form the very base of her hollow figurative sculpture, the head, the self-portrait. And once she has the sides of the base the way she wants them, she's going to slip and score the ends where they meet together. Okay, so Jessica has transferred the base of her self-portrait to a firm surface. In this case, we're using a bat with a small cloth on top. If you're at home, you can use like an old t-shirt on top of a board. I wouldn't use a book unless you put plastic over the book first. But the main thing is to have a base where you can pick up and move the self-portrait without distorting it. Jessica is preparing to add the next coil on. These are slab coils, a little bit different than our rounded coils, but actually they build very well and almost quicker than a rounded coil. After slipping and scoring, Jessica is going to put these together to make her piece taller. Jessica is now smoothing the slab coil on the outside, and she's already done it on the inside. And you'll notice that it comes in, it's slightly leaning in as she's coming up for the shoulders of her piece. Jessica is now making more slab coils to continue the shape of the shoulders and starting the neck. And Jessica is flipping it and checking it to make sure it's an even thickness. Again, we're not looking for very thin. We want the base of this piece to be nice and sturdy. Now Jessica is using the straight edge again to make new slab coils for her self-portrait. So Jessica is playing with a circle, making a coil, slab coil into a circle to decide on the placement of the neck and the width of the neck before she attaches it, and then she will be filling in the shoulder area as well. Jessica's decided on the size that she wants, and she's going to cut through the two coils, slab coils at once, so that there's an exact fit. And then she'll slip and score these two pieces together. Jessica is slipping and scoring the circle that will become the neck first, and then she will slip and score that circle onto the shoulders. Jessica is going to mark where she needs to make the slip and score marks, and then she'll take the circle off and do the slip and scoring on both surfaces that are going to connect. Jessica has now well joined, well done, the neck circle to the shoulders. Next, she will be filling in the shoulders before adding on to the neck. Jessica is using some of her scraps and cutting a size to fill in that corner edge of the shoulder going towards the neck. Jessica has assembled the slab coils that she's going to cover up this part of the shoulder with, and she'll be slipping and scoring those pieces and attaching them. Jessica has added on several of the pieces and is forming her shoulder, slipping and scoring them together on all the surfaces that touch. Jessica is smoothing one last coil of clay to kind of give a lift to the shoulder as it blends into the neck circle. And that was made just by rolling a scrap of the clay and very moist clay so that it was easy to join in. And Jessica is about ready to join the other shoulder pieces and slip and score them on to the portrait that she's making. And Jessica is smoothing out the final addition to the other shoulder for her self-portrait. Okay, with the shoulders intact, Jessica is now going to start making the neck longer by slipping and scoring on more of the flat slab coils. And the one thing she's going to try to do is to stagger where she puts the seam. So the last time the seam was over here, so this time she's putting the seam over here. So there won't be a weak area in her sculpture. This is the front, and Jessica is going to make a thin cut, lowering the front of the neck. If you'll look at someone near you who's maybe in quarantine near you or distancing in the same house, you could kind of look at how the set of the head has the back of the neck longer than the front of the neck. Jessica has kind of a smile-shaped slab that she's going to slip and score on the lower part of the neck that's facing forward to start forming the chin of her face. Now Jessica is going to form more of an oval to do the bottom of her face and chin. Again, staggering where she puts the part of the slab that joins together so it's a strong structure. Looking down in, you can see that little smiley slab underneath that she's going to slip and score it to, along with the neck. Jessica is slipping and scoring the first ring after the neck on to the neck. And she has a nice chin area here in the front, and she's putting on the next coil and starting to go out a little in the back to kind of show the back of the head, the cranium. Look at Jess here. There we go. Good model. Thanks. All right. And she'll keep slipping and scoring on the coils. It's feeling really good, really sturdy. It's holding its own weight very well. This is what it looks like from the front, and where she's going to put on the next slab coil. Okay, and Jess has joined that coil on, that slab coil on, and she has another one positioned to add on, and she's looking at the whole shape. She's going to add the nose later and indent the eyes and all that. But this gives you an idea of the profile she's working on. Okay, so actually Jessica is making a big chocolate Easter figure. It does look like chocolate, Jess. And she's saying all those seams remind her of Frankenstein. Okay, Jess has added on that last slab coil and smoothed in the head, and this would be the front where she'll be putting the mouth and the nose and the eyes, and the side for the ears, and then on the top left she'll be putting the swimmer diving in, and then on the right the hair flowing. So we let the piece firm up overnight, and Jessica also sculpted the legs that she's later going to put on the head for that surreal diver. And there's the legs that she'll be attaching. So Jess is going to put one more coming out, kind of looking at where the mouth, the nose, and then eyes and brow, and then we'll start coming in at the top of the head. Jessica added a portion of clay in there to make sure that the slab coil would fit around the top of the head, the brow area, and come out just a little bit, and then the next slab coil will go inward. After adding on the brow ridge, Jessica is giving some form to the face, pressing in where the eye sockets are, pressing out from the inside to kind of give a sense of where the nose will be and where the cheeks will be, and even where the lips will be, just to give it a little bit more sculptural sense. When we looked at the head from a distance, we were feeling like it was out of proportion to the shoulders, which in a surreal self-portrait is not a problem, but we wanted it to be aesthetically appealing. So now we're taking darts to bring the head in more at the top, and then she's going to look at it again and see if she needs 2 darts or 4 darts. And I'm thinking that's a pretty good size. Jessica's now starting to bring the coils in. She's kind of shaping the flat coil to see how she needs to bend it to cover the top of the head. She'll be curving it in to start closing in the top of the head. Jessica joined the next coil on top of the head, and now she's pushing out and pressing in to give a little bit more form to the face. She's put the collarbone into the front of the bust and getting ready to close in the top. Okay, we're getting a sense of where the ears are going, the nose. Jessica straightened the chin, and this is not a very big opening left, so she's going to cut a piece of her slab and see about filling that in. Jessica put a slab to cover the first half. She's going to fill it underneath and, well, slip it and score it. Then join it really well, top and bottom, and then that very last piece will slip and score, but only be able to seal it from the top. All right, Jessica's covered that half of the top of the head of the Surrealistic Self Portrait. She has one more place to fill in, and she has a little bit of the sense of the profile starting. Jessica's put a little prop under the chin to make sure that the head stays vertical. And if you make a prop with clay, when the sculpture, the self-portrait, shrinks, this clay will shrink at the same time so that it will adjust and keep holding up the chin without causing any cracking. Jessica is making sure that if she needs to push out more on the cheeks or the lips or the brow, that she does that before she closes in the top of the head. Jess is measuring to see how much clay she needs at that last section to cover the top of the head of her self-portrait. And Jess is closing up the last of the top of the head of her surrealistic self-portrait. Jessica's now looking at the eyes. We have a practice one here, and then she's going to take this shape and round it on both ends and put it in both, slip and score it into both sockets. Then she'll be putting an upper lid and a lower lid on that. And so here she is right now forming the eyeball shape. Attached one of her eyeballs and is smoothing it in, making each of the ends go towards the head, whereas the center of the eyeball coming forward. Jessica joined both of the eyes on, and now she'll be putting the lid on top of the eye, scoring it first, like she did the eyeballs, I'll say, and then scoring where she's going to put it, and it will overlap the eyeballs. So she's going to put a few score marks on top of the eye too. She can always smooth these out later. And then placing the eyelid where it comes up over the eyeball and pressing it down and smoothing it in. She's going to attach an eyelid underneath the eye as well. Now Jessica's getting ready to put the bottom lid on. She's also going to put a tear duct hole so that if there's any air trapped, it won't be an issue in the kiln firing. And there she's scoring it, slipping it, smoothing it, joining it. And she's going to pinch off any excess clay that she doesn't feel that she needs. Jessica is starting to work on the second eye. She has the eyelashes, and she changed it from an open eye to a sleeping eye, remembering that her sketch had closed eyes. As Jessica said, she's starting to look like a person. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is start adding the hair, and then we'll be looking at the more surreal parts too, and we'll go from there. Jessica is looking at a reference photo and drawing her lips on a slab of clay. After she draws them, she will cut them out and we'll pre-sculpt them just a little bit before she slips and scores them on to the head. And now she's using her needle tool to cut out the lips from the little slab. Once she has them cut out, we're going to slip and score them on flat and then actually sculpt them so that they become a part of the face. All right, now she's sticking on the lips and curving them. Obviously right now they look very pasted on, so we'll be working to integrate them into the face, pressing down the ends and adding a coil at the top and making them indent in the middle. She's going to press firmly to make sure that they're very well adhered to the face. Jessica has a small coil. She's going to dip in water and then put above the lip to create that area between the mouth and the nose and slant it up towards the nose. She's smoothing that up into the nose, blending it. And then making sure. Nice. She now has a nice transition from the nose to the lips. Jessica is working on a slab piece of the hair, and she's using a comb to go ahead and create the texture and flow and curvy lines of hair, even though she has braids today. She assures me that underneath those braids it is wavy hair. Okay, so Jessica has looking at a picture of her hair and the way she wants to make it, and she's making a upward sweep from the forehead and then bringing the hair down around the face and down to the shoulders. Okay, so Jessica has put one layer of her hair on, and now she's getting ready to attach, slip and score the next layer of her hair on there. And she's going to slip and score the top of the head and then the different places where it's touching. Okay, Jessica's now added in that second portion of her hair, and she's using the comb. In this case we're using a pick, but it's what we had, but you can use a comb at home to add the texture of the hair in. Be sure and kind of curve it naturally. And we're actually day 3, and now Jessica is holding the legs up. That's going to be the surreal part of her portrait, and determining where she wants to slip and score them onto the head. Jessica has slipped and scored on another portion of the hair. She's attaching it You can see the score marks underneath, and she's using the wooden knife to smooth it into the top, and then again using the comb or rake to texture the hair. These slabs we're rolling out, slapping them on the tabletop on a piece of cloth, and then we are rolling them with rolling pins, but you can use a home rolling pin if your family allows, and if not, you can use a bottle. And if you keep flipping it over, it will not stick to the surface, and be sure to put down a pillowcase or piece of a sheet. So Jessica is taking a piece of paper to look and see what she needs size-wise for the next piece of hair, and this will give her a better idea of how much of the slab she needs to allocate for it. So she's laying it close to an edge so that she'll make best use of her clay, and she's just going to press with her needle tool, and then she'll have a general outline that she can go back and cut out the clay with. Get kind of that flowing feel of the hair, and then she'll add in the texture of the hair once, a little bit before she attaches it, and then she can add some more afterwards if some of it gets pressed too flat. And now she's going to slip and score this piece of hair to the head of her surrealistic self-portrait. Jessica is starting to figure out a general shape for her last piece of the hair, and then she's going to lay it on the slab, and we may need actually more slab. Yeah. Okay, and Jessica's gonna do her new pattern on the new slab. Excuse me. I was telling her that slabs made by hand this way are actually stronger than the ones made by the slab roller, because you roll them with your bottle or pin from several directions, and that realigns the particles of clay so that it's actually stronger. Now she's going to take out the last piece of hair and prepare it to attach to the head. Now she's getting ready to put this last piece of clay on. She's going to go around the ear and then slip and score this on before she adds her swimmer at the top. All right, so Jessica has laid the hair slab and is checking to see if it covers all the area she wants it to cover, and once she's satisfied with that, she'll slip and score and attach that last piece of hair. This one is going to go around the ear, and then the top of the head is where the diver, the swimmer, will be. And now she's got the area scored, and she's putting water on it, and then she'll attach that last piece of hair. And Jessica's playing with the water splash to see how she wants to connect it, to see what direction works the best. Remember with a sculpture that you want your piece to work from the front, the sides, and the back. All right, so she's tentatively placed the splash, and now she's going to hold up the legs and make sure that she feels that the composition is working from many angles. Cool. Very exciting. Surrealistic self-portrait. Yay. Jessica has attached the splash, and she's smoothing the ends of the water to give them that look of water as it's splashed out. Jessica has attached her splash, and it's a very exciting sculptural splash. And now she's going back into any place that changed the texture on the hair and getting it the way she wants it. So exciting moment here, getting ready to slip and score the swimmer's legs into the splash and make sure that they're well attached. Once she's done with this, we're going to put a plastic bag over it for at least 24 hours to let it get the same moisture inside and out. And then after that, we'll put it in a paper made by newspaper, kind of an envelope that will cover up the whole piece so it will dry evenly and slowly. All right, so Jessica is making sure that it's going to fit, and then she's going to slip and score the legs into the opening in the splash, attaching it both to the head and to the splash. And she's pressing it down to make sure it's seated, and then going to check to make sure that the joint is well sealed. All right, so now Jessica's working on the ear and making sure she gets enough earrings on it. She's getting her earrings on her ear. She has the ear ready to slip and score and smooth into the face. Her ear is attached, and she's deciding that she prefers the smaller size of the splashes onto the face. Jess, that is so nice. I like the size water droplet you put on her. Are you done?
Now I just need some eyebrows.
Very good, very good. Excellent. All right, Jessica has added her eyebrows in now. Nice, nice. She has her drips. She has her splash with her diver, swimmer. She has her hair. Go ahead and turn it slowly, Jess. Thanks. She has eyelashes, and she had her ear with all 3 earrings. Some drips up there coming from that big splash. Things to lead our eye around to the back side, and around back again to the front side. Lots of areas of movement and interest. And now she's going to sign her piece. Well done, Jessica.